What is going on, guys? In today's video I will show you the best Falling Thunder monk build in Path of Exile 2. If you are looking for this build on the website, then click my link in the description or the pinned comment. So this is a very unique build where we are going to be combining bunch of different setups into one big powerhouse, which on top of all of this is standing the Falling Thunder skill. The main idea behind this build is to get easy power charges from the Combat Frenzy and the Resonance Keystone. And with enough of these charges, we will be able to generate so much that we are easily able to maintain our charge staff, and then even further boost it up with the Falling Thunder for massive amounts of AoE damage. Overall, this is an endgame build that combines cold and lightning damage to freeze and electrocute enemies at the same time, while in the background we are automatically generating more and more power charges and much more. So let me show you the build, and for the main class we are going with the monk and our Ascendancy is Invoker. Then for the first skill we have the Falling Thunder with the support gem like the Ambush, Long Shot, Perpetual Charge, Ricochet and Acceleration. Then second we get the Tempest Flurry with Electrocute, Martial Tempo, Inspiration, Rage and Neural Overload. Then next we got the Charge Staff with Persistence, Primal Armament, Conduction, Coursing Current and the Culling Strike. Next we have the Herald of the Thunder with the Ice Bite, Cold Infusion and Glaciation. Next we got the Tempest Bell with the Rage Forge, Concentrated Effect over Abundance and Heavy Swing. Next we got the Wind Dancer with the Pin and the Lockdown. Next we got the Herald of the Ice with the Lightning Infusion, Magnified Effect and Innervate. Next we got the Grim Feast with the Cannibalism and Clarity. And finally we are using the Combat Frenzy with the Pin and Lockdown. Most of this setup is structured around using our Falling Thunder to delete enemies in split seconds, so we use gems and skills that will support and increase their duration and damage, while the rest are powerful buffs and utility skills that usually get activated in the background. And next we also have a leveling build in case if you are starting your journey from level 0 and you want to use it up until about level 25. So first off we have the Falling Thunder with the Lightning Infusion. Then next we have Killing Palm with Profusion. Next we got Glacial Cascade with Cold Infusion and Ice Bite. And finally we are using the Tempest Belt with Concentrated Effect. Next up we have our passive tree, and if you are interested in a full in-depth guide on how it works, then check out my beginner guide. So let's take a look at our setup, and we want to start at the skill speed node, and then go like this while taking these two, so Flow Like Water and the Crashing Wave. Then next we go to the left and take the Moment of the Truth and the Power Within. Then from here we now want to go to the other side and then get this whole thing. So Essence of the Mountain, Siphon, Subterfuge Mask and the Lust for Power. Then from this we circle back to here and then keep on going until we get to the Killer Instincts. Then afterwards we now want to move to the left and get this keystone called the Resonance, while also taking these three, so the True Strike for the Juggler and Deadly Force. And then from here you want to get all the way up here, and only from this point and onwards you can unlock the rest of the nodes in whatever order you prefer. All of these nodes that we got are very useful, but the ones I mentioned have the top priority, as they're the most important ones to acquire early on in the game, to make our build functional, and then later on the priority doesn't really matter that much. Also, as far as attributes go, you just simply want to fulfill your attribute requirements for gear and skill gems, and then after that spend the rest in dexterity. And then on top of this, a lot of our build is also improved by our specific jewels that we use. So for the top 3 options we have the Ruby Gem with the Rage gained on a melee hit. Then second we get the Sapphire Gem with a mana gained on kill. And then finally we get the Emerald Gem with a critical hit chance. I recommend to get at least 1 Ruby and 1 Sapphire Gem, while then for the rest you can go with the Emerald or other similar bonuses. And then now let's go all the way to the middle again, and for Ascendancy build this is what we have. So at the beginning you want to unlock Lead Me Through the Grace, as this will make you gain Spirit per Energy Shield and Evasion on your body armor. This part is very important, so get it as your first equipment piece, so then you're able to reach enough spirits for all of our passive skills. And then second we go with And Protect Me from Harm. This one is important for defense, because it will allow you to gain additional damage reduction based on your evasion rating. Then third, get Disarm My Enemies. We can save a lot of our skill points once we have enough critical strike chance, as it will allow you to remove all the lightning penetration nodes. And then finally we go with I Am the Blizzard, and this will give us extra cold damage and make it much easier to freeze the enemies. So feel free to use the exact same path as we have right here, and don't forget to check this video description to find the link for this website, and this should make it easier for you to follow the path. Next up we have our Atlas passives, and the general idea behind this is to aim for bonus passives that spawn a lot of grouped up monsters, like in expeditions or in rituals. So when we start, we wanna first of all go to the right side and get all of these nodes, and then keep going down until you get to this keystone called the Deadly Evolution. And then from this point and onwards, you can unlock the rest of the nodes in whatever order you want. But then on top of this, we also have sub-passives, and their order in which you unlock them doesn't really matter, so this time it's up to you. And this is how it should look like for the ritual. Then next we have Delirium. Then third we have the bosses. Then on top of that we have the pinnacle bosses. Then next we also have our expedition setup. And then finally our breach setup. And next we have our gear. The weapon of our choice is the Crescent Quarterstaff with a crit and weapon speed. And for bonus stats we want increased physical damage, adds physical and cold damage to attacks, and then also increased critical hit chance, critical damage bonus and attack speed. Then for helmet we have Expert Feather Tiara with energy shield. And for more we need max energy shield, max life and increased critical hit chance. Then for the chest we have the Expert Wayfarer jacket with evasion and energy shield. And for more we want chaos resistance, evasion, max energy and life, as well as more to intelligence. Then for belt we have the utility belt with 20% faster flask recovery. And for more we are going with max life, more evasion and more to charm slots. Then for gloves we got the Expert Spiral Warps with evasion and energy shield. And for more we have adds fire damage to attacks, max life and increased attack speed. Then for boots we're using the Expert Shredded Shoes with evasion and energy shield. And for more we got increased movement speed, max life and chaos resistance. Then for our first ring we got the Unsent Ring with us gaining one additional skill slot. And for more we got adds lightning damage to attacks, max life, more to all elemental resistances and more to lightning resistance. While for the second one we have the Breach Ring with max 50% quality. And for more we have adds cold damage to attacks, max life, more to all elemental resistances and cold resistance. And then finally for the amulet we have the Serpent's Egg. This item is not required, however it is the best in slot, as it will give us more power charges and make our build much more powerful. But if you can't get it, then look for similar items with more to all attributes, chaos resistance and increased mana regen. No matter which gear you choose, just at least try to get 75% resistance cap on all 4 elements. This is the best case scenario setup, which should be more of an example of what stats and prefixes to look for. Then next we have runes. During early item progression, most gear will be sacred with resistant runes. However, once your elemental resistances have been capped, and resistant runes are no longer necessary, then you want to opt in to increase your maximum life with body runes or consider sacting a soul core. So right now on my weapon and the rest of the gear I'm going with the iron rune. Then on top of this we need to quickly look into the charms. Charms are incredibly useful, as by having the right one equipped at the right time can save you from dying. If you are struggling with certain bosses, then look into what damage type they are using, and then use that specific charm to increase your resistance. For me personally, I like to use the golden charm for rares and uniques. Then second, get the stone charm for stuns. And then finally for the last one we get the Taving charm, or when we become frozen. But as I said, which one you choose will entirely depend on the enemies that you are fighting, so feel free to experiment and mix and match. And now finally, let's quickly take a look at how this build will work, and I will give you 2 rotations. So first up we have AoV farming, and for this one we want to start by using the Tempest Flurry, which will automatically activate the Combat Frenzy. So then afterwards we can use the Charged Staff and then once again the Tempest Fury, which will again keep on activating the Combat Frenzy. So then afterwards we use the Charged Staff, then once again the Tempest Flurry, which will again keep on activating the Combat Frenzy. So then we repeat this process one more time. And then when we get to 3 charges, then now we finish it off with the Falling Thunder. And then for single targets, this time we want to start by using the Tempest Fury. Then next activate the Tempest Belt. Then like in the first rotation, we keep repeating using the Charged Staff with the Tempest Fury 2 times. Well then, when we are finishing with that, then now we use 2 more Tempest Furies. And then finally finish it off with the Tempest Belt. The main idea behind this gameplay is that the Tempest Flurry is a fast-hitting melee skill that can trigger shockwaves from the Charged Staff to deal massive amount of lightning damage. Additionally, we use the extra power charges on the Falling Thunder for massive AoV damage. And finally, only for single targets like for the boss fights, we also place down the Tempest Belt on strong targets for a massive amount of damage boost. So let me know what you think about this build in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, then you definitely don't wanna miss my top 5 best monk builds video, where I showed even more powerful builds. So click the screen now and I'll see you in the next one.